Hey people, Dan here. Hey, been troubleshooting Gertrude because the in-tank fuel pump is not firing, so I got to figure out why. So one of the culprits could be this is the fuel injection relay, and I took the cover off it, and it's got a little circuit board on it, and I'm going to, I've been soldering these joints, so I'd like to show you how I do that. It's pretty simple, but it's an important step. So come on along. So you just need some simple tools. I got these, I don't know where, different places over the years. Just a basic soldering iron. You need a little, I like this little setup. It's a magnifying glass, a little light, and some helping hands if you need to hold wires or anything together. These little clips really help. You want rosin core, small diameter solder. You want some solder flux, and what you do, it's pretty simple. You identify, I've already looked these over carefully under the microscope, under the magnification of this little magnifying glass, and you can kind of see some of these actually had little rings around the posts, and it looks to me like, you know, I had some bad solder joints or broken solder joints. So to fix that, you can take a small brush. I just take a small screwdriver. I get a little solder flux, and I just touch the surface that I want to solder. Now, bear in mind, these pins are very close together. I mean, these pins right here are really tight together. So I'll do one at a time and heat them up. And then I wipe off the old solder residue, the flux, because it flows kind of all over the board. And yeah, basically I'm heating up the joints that look like, if I can see a line of any sort around the post in the little, I call it like a little volcano of solder, then I want to resolder that one. And it's really only takes a second or two to do it. And I'll show you one. I'll get up close and personal and show you one. I think I can zoom in and show you how this works. This is, I'm gonna redo this joint here because in the magnifier I can see that it's got a small amount of a ring, and we don't want any ring. So I'm gonna dip my solder into the rosin core, and then I'm gonna clean it. And I just use a paper towel. Be careful, this thing's hot and you can burn yourself. And then I get a little bit of, I tin it, what's called, I put a little bit of solder on there. Then I get down here, and what you want to do is heat up, you want the board and the pin. Oh, she heated up nicely. Okay, then I have another one here. I'm gonna tin it again. Okay, put that in there. I'm gonna wipe these off. Because this rosin or flux that I'm putting down, and I'm just putting a little tiny amount, causes this solder to flow, and you don't want it flowing where it's not supposed to. So I did one pin, now I'm doing the one next to it. And I'm being real careful not to overdo this. It doesn't take much. And I think what we'll do is we'll clean this. Again, be careful you don't burn yourself doing this crazy business. And what you want is the end of your soldering iron to be nice and shiny silver. That's very important. Okay, that one's done. This soldering iron is very powerful and does a nice job. I soldered every pin on the board, ended up, because as I examined and worked on it, I realized they all had some sort of damage or fault. So this one right here has too much solder on it. So I've got a device, this thing, which you push down this plunger. It's got a little push button, and you put this right up to the, once you heat the solder in it sucks it in. It kind of pulls it off. So I'm going to do that next, because I have too much solder on there. Clean it, wipe it, dip it. Oh yeah, that cleaned it up nice. I believe I've soldered every one of the joints. Resoldered. That one looks kind of ugly. I gotta look close at it again. Yeah, I need to do that one over. That one right there in the corner. The rest are not gorgeous, and I don't claim to be a great solder meister, but I think I do an okay job. I'm gonna redo that one. Well, that should do it. She ain't pretty, but she should work. Gertrude's purring. I got that figured out, that fuel pump. That fuel pump relay is now operating properly, and I did find a wire that was in the wrong place on the fuse block. So, oh yeah.